Once, in the Maquoketa Caves in Iowa, I went on a thrilling adventure with two close friends. We decided to explore a small cave that greeted us with a narrow 15-meter crawl. Being the most experienced caver, I led the way through the dusty passages. As I crawled through the tight space, the cobwebs at the entrance gradually thinned, hinting at the mysteries that lay ahead. When I emerged into a small, domed chamber, I was amazed. The ceiling was covered with a sight that took my breath away, not because I was scared, but because it was so incredible. There were countless spiders, probably over 1,000, hanging delicately from their silk threads, with egg sacs hanging around them like strange decorations. I quickly called out to my friends, warning them about the spiders above. They were cautious, asking about the spider's size, color, and texture. I described them as looking like black widows, but with a different brown color and lighter legs, which made them more uneasy. But it was my friend, a seasoned Wisconsin DNR warden, whose reaction was the most telling. When he entered the chamber and saw the spiders, his composure broke. With a trembling voice and wide eyes, he identified the spiders as brown recluse, one of the most venomous species in North America. He urgently told us to leave the cave immediately. We realized the danger we were in and hurried back through the narrow passages, fueled by adrenaline. When we finally emerged outside, we felt relief, but it was quickly replaced by a chilling realization of how close we had come to danger. My friend, the DNR warden, explained the potential consequences of a brown recluse bite: excruciating pain, skin necrosis, and even death. Since then, we've been much more cautious when exploring caves, always aware of the hidden dangers that could be lurking underground. This experience serves as a reminder of the risks involved in exploring the unknown. The sun was setting, casting an orange hue over the dense jungle that enveloped our small island. My best friend, Alex, and I had always been adventurous souls, seeking out the hidden gems of our home. That day, we had decided to explore a cave system rumored to be hidden deep within the jungle. Little did we know, this adventure would be like no other we had experienced before. As we ventured deeper into the jungle, the air became thick with humidity, and the sounds of wildlife surrounded us. The entrance to the cave was hidden behind a curtain of vines, as if nature itself was trying to keep us out. Ignoring the ominous feeling creeping up my spine, we pushed through and entered the cave. Inside, the air was cool and musty, with the only light coming from our flashlights. The cave seemed to stretch on endlessly, with twisting passages leading in every direction. Excitement and a hint of fear danced in my chest as we explored deeper, the thrill of the unknown driving us forward. After what felt like hours of wandering through the dark, we stumbled upon a small opening that led into a larger cavern. The sight that greeted us took our breath away. The cavern was massive, with stalactites hanging from the ceiling, like icicles, and stalagmites rising from the floor, like ancient pillars. As we marveled at the natural beauty surrounding us, Alex suddenly froze. His eyes were wide, and his breath caught in his throat. I followed his gaze and saw it too, a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness at the edge of the cavern. My heart pounded in my chest as fear gripped me. Without a word, Alex grabbed my arm and pulled me towards the exit. We ran through the twisting passages, the sound of our footsteps echoing off the walls. Behind us, I could hear the faint sound of something following us, a low grunting and heavy breathing that sent shivers down my spine. In a panic, Alex lit a flare and threw it behind us, illuminating the cavern in a bright red light. What we saw next made my blood run cold. In the eerie glow of the flare, I saw long strands of black hair fluttering back into a dark corner behind a rock. Someone, or something, was following us. We didn't stop running until we reached the safety of our car, the adrenaline still coursing through our veins. It was only then that Alex told me what he had seen. The image of that dark figure hidden in the shadows of the cave haunted me for weeks to come. In the days that followed, we tried to rationalize what we had experienced. Perhaps it was just a trick of the light, or maybe a cave-dwelling hermit who had made the cavern his home. But deep down, we both knew the truth, that we had encountered something inexplicable and terrifying in the depths of that jungle cave. To this day, the memory of that encounter still sends chills down my spine. It serves as a reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden in the world around us, and the thin veil that separates the known from the unknown. It was back in high school when my buddies and I used to explore the outskirts of our small town, looking for adventure. Our favorite pastime was breaking into abandoned houses and recording ghost videos with our trusty camera. One fateful night, as we cruised along the back roads, we stumbled upon a deep creek ravine that, with its surrounding trees, resembled a dark, ominous cave. Excitement coursed through us as I suggested we investigate further and determine who among us was brave enough to venture deepest into the ravine. 3 of us eagerly accepted the challenge, while the other 3, their courage failing them, opted to stay behind. As we traversed the ravine, we discovered remnants of human presence, a discarded gallon jug, a fragment of blue fabric, and assorted trash scattered about. To enhance the eerie atmosphere, we deliberately kept our flashlight off, using it sparingly to illuminate our surroundings. Despite the full moon's glow, the dense canopy of trees obscured much of the light, enveloping us in shadow. Suddenly, a chill ran down my spine, and an overwhelming sense of unease washed over me. I halted in my tracks, causing my friends to pause as well. It was palpable. We were not alone. The rustling of branches and crunching of leaves seemed to indicate a presence moving about at the ravine's edge. With trembling hands, one of my friends flicked on his flashlight, revealing fleeting shadows darting around us. Panic set in, and without hesitation, we turned and fled, back the way we came, plunging into the enveloping darkness. Miraculously, we managed to navigate the treacherous terrain without mishap, reaching the safety of our car in record time. We pounded on the doors, clamoring to get inside, and once we were all in, I slammed my foot on the gas pedal, eager to leave the menacing woods behind. Despite being a good 20 miles from town, we made it home in a flash, our voices overlapping in a frenzy of recounting the harrowing experience. Authorities had previously cautioned us about the dangers of venturing into the woods, warning of untold horrors lurking within. However, our youthful curiosity and disregard for the warnings had nearly cost us dearly. Reflecting on that night, we realized just how fortunate we were to have escaped unscathed, our minds haunted by the chilling encounter in the Deep Creek ravine. For over a decade, from the tender age of 6, I've been captivated by the enigmatic allure of Florida's caverns. Fear was a foreign concept as I delved into these subterranean realms, until a single event shattered my confidence and altered my perception forever. At just 7 or 8, a recurring nightmare plagued me, recurring biannually with unfailing precision. Each time, it thrust me into a cave, irresistibly drawn to a small, foreboding opening. Crawling through, I'd find myself in a cramped, twisting corridor, 10 to 15 feet long and barely 2 to 4 feet high. Every time it veered left, leading to a bizarre sight, a mangled red stop sign, its top ripped off and discarded. Despite the mounting dread, I pressed on. The corridor descended into a vast vertical chamber, spiraling downwards like a corkscrew. The scene blurred, but the imagery remained vividly unchanged. Rubbish littered the walls, and at the pit's bottom, shadowy, formless shapes loomed over my family, subjecting them to unspeakable torment and death. Helpless, I could do nothing but watch. Upon witnessing this gruesome tableau, a cold, palpable fear gripped me, as if unseen eyes bore down on me. Then, like a forceful ejection, I'd snap awake, abruptly banished from that nightmarish realm. This torment persisted until I was 15, each recurrence intensifying the dread. I confided in a friend about my nightmares, unaware of the twist fate had in store. My father decided to explore new caves, including one ominously named Dog Drop, hinting at a grim history, a place where perhaps a beloved pet met a tragic end, or a coyote fell to its demise. Dog Drop beckoned with a 30-foot rappel straight into its depths. Descending with my brother, an unexplained unease gnawed at me, growing with every step deeper into the earth. As we ventured onward, the unease bloomed into a full-blown terror when I looked up and recognized the same corridor, the same turn, the same wall, and the same corner strewn with bottles, identical to the haunting scenes of my dreams. Nausea and fear overwhelmed me, suffused with an overwhelming sense of being observed. Paralyzed, I must have emitted a sound, prompting my brother to question my distress. Struggling to articulate my dread, I managed to convey my urgent need to leave. I scrambled out, my brother hot on my heels. We left without a backward glance, vowing never to return to that accursed place. I never divulged the true extent of my experience that day, attributing my unease to feeling unwell, a story that soon faded from memory. What truly chills me is that since that day, the recurring nightmare has never returned. Its abrupt cessation only serves to heighten the lingering fear, as if the dread itself is an external presence, watching, waiting, and haunting my thoughts.